I'm Chaz Marler from Pair of Dice Paradise with my continuing coverage of the 2014 GTS Come and Play Day in Seattle. Now, regular viewers have heard me confess my fondness of Risk and other grandiose area control war games. Non-regular viewers can go here to subscribe to the Pair of Dice Paradise YouTube channel. Now, while I do dig a good epic wargaming session from time to time, other times you just want a faster paced experience. And that's exactly why my ears perked up when Ian Brody from Griggling Games spoke to me about Quartermaster General, a war game that reduces the amount of fiddly bits to let you concentrate on the game experience. Here's Ian from Griggling Games with an overview of Quartermaster General.
Hi, this is Ian from Griggling Games, and I'm here telling you about our game coming out in August called Quartermaster General. It's a very fast and quick to play World War II game if you like games like Axis and Allies but don't feel like you have the time for it. And if you also like playing a card game, then this might appeal to you. Every country has a separate deck of cards and they're all played differently. So as you can see, I mean, Japan build Navy. Okay, big surprise there, that type of thing. And there's different sorts of special cards, but they all play very differently. So for example, for Japan, there's a lot of cards called response cards. And with a response card, they go down on the table and they get flipped over when the player wants, but it takes a lot of preparation. So what Japan will end up doing is sort of building up slowly, seeing the Pacific encroached upon by the British and Americans, and then all of a sudden flip over all these cards and take over half the Pacific. Russia is, you know, usually Russia, the thing out of their mouth is build army. That's what they want to do. The Germans have the most tricky, complicated deck to play, to put all of the different combinations together. Once you do, they're unstoppable, but in the meantime there's a time limit because the Americans and British are coming. The Americans have a deck which, unlike a lot of other World War II games, there's nothing that prevents the Americans from coming out early, but except for the fact that Russia and the United Kingdom may need their help, so they have a lot of cards that help their allies. So it kind of keeps them in the United States for a few turns because of the natural reason of what you would want to, and not just because that's the rule. The game sets up in 5 minutes. Everybody starts with an army. Hey, that's a little wooden meeple tank, by the way. Everybody starts with an army in their home territory, and they draw 10 cards, discard 3, and the hand size is 7, and everybody's ready to play. So for sort of a war game, that's about as fast a setup as you can ask for. It's exceptionally fun. I might lie to you, but I'm not going to lie to you. I will say that I have 1,000 games at home. This is the funnest game that I own, and not just because I designed it, although I wouldn't design a game that I didn't want to play. So there's a bias built in, but not a bias because I'm trying to sell it, but really, really fun game.
Excellent. It's neat that you have such an accessible war game, and you know, it doesn't look like you're pushing 1,000 units, 1,000 meeples across the board.
No, it's really, really fast. I mean, you know, an invasion of Western Europe could just be one card done. But, you know, there's a counterattack, and hopefully it's not that easy for the Allies, but essentially there's really not much to it. The unit density, there's usually only one piece per space. So it's very, I think there's not really that much exactly out there like it. So I say Axis and Allies because I've played Axis and Allies forever, but it has a, you know, it only takes an hour and a half. There's not a lot of pieces on the board, and you don't roll any dice. So maybe it's not like it at all. And it keeps moving.